PT Peeps? One Eye Bri back to talk about The Walking Dead and do another segment of Overrated or Awesome. This one about Carol Pelletier, of course. Not a spoiler video by any means, but if you're not up to date of the show, we're going to talk about some things, and if you're not up to date, I don't want to ruin it for you. But ultimately, Carol, we're going to talk about, is she overrated or awesome? And here we go. Now, before I give you my opinion of Carol, I want to know yours, so post your comments below. Do you think she's overrated or awesome or somewhere in between? But let's talk about Carol. Now, if you know the comics and you know the show, you know the characters are very different from the show to the comic, and I like that about that. I like the difference between Carol on the show and Carol in the comic. Now, she was a far different person on the show than in the comic, and there's some similarities to her, but not many. But basically, Carol in the comic is dead. Carol in the show is going strong. Now, whether you like Carol or not, she is an essential part of the group and has been since season 1, evidence right here with the grenade to get out of the CDC. But ultimately, she is not the same character from season 1 to season 8, and I just like this picture right here, showing that her family dynamic has changed as they both died, Ed and Sophia. I love the picture here as well. Melissa McBride, awesome actress. If you ever get a chance to meet her, definitely recommend it. She's very cool. But the story arc of Carol has gone from beaten, broken down housewife, mother, to badass. And she's not full badass. There are human sides of her that show that she struggles with things. And I like that about it. That shows complexity of the character, and it's very cool. Now, way back in season 1 and season 2 and even season 3, Carol wasn't much of a good character. You might like her. She was okay. She needed help a lot of the time. Her whole thing with Sophia at the prison, she was coming into her own. It was kind of season 3, season 4, definitely season 5 and 6, the character developed into an awesome character. But here, this was kind of the start of it for her to go that story transition of being kept around. And Carol has had to do a lot of tough things. She's had to take people out, kill people, be the one to deliver the bad news and try to prevent things from getting worse and worse and worse. And that's what I like about Carol. She's come a long way, as I mentioned before. So to me, she's an awesome character. I don't think she's overrated by any means. She's had to deal with a lot. She had to deal with getting put away and kicked out of the prison, and also to come back to the group. Look at the flowers. That whole thing, I don't know how many people could have done that easily. Carol struggled with it, but she's had to do these things from time and time again. And I can't count how many times she's had to do the tough things, but the main one that sticks out to me is look at the flowers. And it's a tough call. I mean, come on, right? She had to put down a child because it was the right thing to do. I don't know how many people could have done that. Now, it's different in the comic and the show. In the show, Carol does it. In the comic, Carl does it, and it's Ben and Billy, not Lizzie and Minka. Now, like I said before, Carol has come a long way from weak character to strong character to struggling character, and I like that complexness of the character. Now, Carol came to be like, she is awesome, we love her, in season 5 with the whole Terminus thing. I would say is the major turning point for me, at least. Then the whole Daryl and her connection where they saw each other, and it was a great moment. And really, a lot of times with Daryl and Carol together seeing each other, it's usually a great moment. And when Carol has been involved with a lot of characters from the very beginning all the way up to season 8 now. I can't wait to see her with Negan and how they interact. I just want to see that whole dynamic. And another thing I love about Carol is her adaptability. She is a survivor. When she's like, oh, I'm going to act like I don't know what I'm doing, when she's like the best killer of the group, people aren't going to think much of Carol by looking at her, but that's what I love about the character. And they show you, like, you can't sleep on Carol. You would, and she'll take you out. She's going to do the things to survive. She's kind of like the ultimate survivor of the group, and she's definitely a character that I like myself. So again, she's awesome in my book, not overrated by any means. She's done a lot of big things, a lot of good things for the group. Just look at her caseload of work and her track record. I just like the dynamic with her and so many characters like Sam and Tobin and Daryl and Rick and everybody. But this is where I would say she's the ultimate awesome character, is when she adapted with the wolves, put on the camouflage, blended in, and just took them out. It was just great. I know that was the ultimate thing in season 6 that was like, great, Carol, just love this character, and she's come a long way. Now, she's had some ups and downs and some weird storylines, tough one with Morgan and Carol, and I think they're ultimately connected, which is a nice storyline to break up the show. To me, a good show and a great movie is all about the secondary characters, and Carol and Morgan mainly are, because the show follows Rick Grimes and that story, but these characters, mainly Carol and Morgan and Daryl and Maggie and Michonne and Carl, make a lot of the story, and Carol's a huge part of that. Now, yes, she's had some struggles in there, but that's great. I think it's a very essential part of showing her human side that she struggles with it in this world. Now, some people say, oh, it's kind of crappy and whatever. You got to be kill or be killed or tough, and you can't let the world bother you. But that shows you that this world weighs on people. And Carol is maybe outside of her wheelbox a little bit by killing all these people, and it's breaking her down, and it has in season 6 and season 7. But ultimately, you know, she's come back around, and I can't wait to see her involvement in season 8. Her and Ezekiel, I like that whole dynamic. Now, that's not an awesome part of her, but overall, I'd say Carol has done a lot of big things for the show, and I like that she tells it straight, man. She doesn't bullshit a bullshitter. She's there telling you how it is, and it's the simple fact of kill or be killed, and it's just awesome, the dynamic of her on the show with all the characters that she meets. So what do you guys think? Is she overrated or awesome? To me, she's awesome. She's done so many big things for the show, and I think she'll be doing even bigger things in season 8. And I can't wait for it. So let me know, guys. Post your comments below. What do you think? Is she overrated or awesome or something else? But I think it'd be one of the two. Either love or hate Carol, and I love her for sure. Check out my books on Amazon, barnesandnoble.com. They're available now. The beginning and reunited of my Fight for Us series. Check me out on Instagram and Twitter at the PT channel. Post stuff all the time. And as always, guys, check out the Walking Dead community on Facebook. We have a page and a group. If you like this channel, you like the group. If you do like this channel, guys, hit that subscribe button today. We can't do it without you. You guys are awesome. Join our team, Team PT of the way. Stay in the know with our videos, and you do that by subscribing. Thanks, guys, for watching, and let me know what you think about Carol. Is she overrated or awesome?